Well, we were gone for a week doing some racing. We're going to talk about that at the end of the show. We also have Pixar Fest news for you. Everything you're going to need to know if you're headed out there or if you just want to window shop. All that and more tonight on ParksCenter. Welcome to ParksCenter for April 28th, 2024. I'm your host, Rob Whiteside. Thank you guys, as always, for being with us. We appreciate you. If you have not already, of course, please subscribe to this channel, WDWNT-TV, for more great content. And also, please give us a thumbs up as it helps people to find us. And tonight's panel, let's get to it. Starting with Allison.
Happy Sunday, everyone.
Bringing the popsicle back. All right, that's old school. Okay. Desi.
Hello there.
And Allie, how are you?
Good. Happy Pixar Fest.
Happy Pixar Fest to you. Yes. Man, this is a busy time of year for you. You've got Season of the Force. You've got Pixar Fest out there in Disneyland. And for those of you who do not know, Allie is our Disneyland reporter. She is out there combing the streets, the mean streets of Disneyland and Disney California Adventure every week, just so we can feed you guys all the information that's coming out. And Pixar Fest is in full effect out there. Allie, you and I were talking about this a little bit before the show started. Pixar Fest happened in like 2018, and you said like you don't even, it was like a blip, you don't even remember it. Looking at it this year, no. I'm like, I want to go to there. It looks amazing. Talk to me a little bit about let's start with some of like the fireworks, the parade, and the club Pixar. How's all that?
Pretty good. Obviously, like, we're always a fan of more entertainment. The fireworks show, I haven't been able to see it in person yet just because I was in Florida last week with you. So I've had to be good and go to work. But I did watch all of our videos. The fireworks show is really, really cute. They did some nice additions. We have the Up House flying now, and we have Buzz Lightyear flying, so that's wonderful. The parade, again, like, I'm always a fan of more entertainment. Like, I'm never going to complain about that. But the parade it's fine. It's a lot of the newer IP, which for people my age, like, I'm asking, like, where's Nemo? Where's Ratatouille? And give me all of the Bugs Life. A lot of newer stuff, again, better than nothing. The kids are probably going to love it. We got our little hidden Pixar truck on the back of that. So, you know, again, all good things. Club Pixar, just, it's all the stuff. There's characters, there's shows, there is so much to do. Like, it is really overwhelming. It's so much.
It seems like more so than I've seen anything. I'm actually saying here, is this the best fest? Because I usually say that about the Festival of the Arts, like, totally best fest, shut up, there is none better. And then now, like, what they've rolled out between the decorations, it's a two-park celebration. You've got the specialty fireworks, which I've seen nothing but positive about. You've got the parade, which has, like, it features Luca. I know I was poking fun at the whole, like, soul thing because you've got Joe Gardner not behind a piano. How am I supposed to know it's Joe Gardner if he's not? I mean, if he's not behind a piano. And you know what? It's a lot of neat little things because DCA doesn't usually have a parade anymore, right?
No, I mean, we have Oogie Boogie Bash. There's that parade during only the After Dark event. And then we had the Mulan processional during Lunar New Year. Yeah. But otherwise, don't usually have a parade. And now we have a parade at both parks. Just saying, that's something that we have.
Yeah, just rub that in. That's great. Club Pixar, honestly, that's one of those things where they take over the Hollywood backlot because what else is back there? And they exactly. So Electronica was my jam. The Mad Hatter's Tea Party, that was a pretty cool one. It's just some kind of like an after hours Pleasure Island light where people come out and they just like hang out. And the thing that I always thought about it was it's a place to hold the people who aren't going to World of Color or who aren't running back across the Esplanade to see the fireworks. It's like, hey, you come back here. It's special. It's a club. Y'all stay here. Give us some breathing room out there. I feel like is what that. And it's a neat offering. I haven't seen this one in person, but Electronica was cool with all the vibes of that one. But the characters is the other thing that I'm
Oh,
like looking through my lens going, how much is that flight out to Anaheim? I figure I need to get out and see the characters. Like you've got stuff that we haven't seen before. You've got Luca and you've
right.
got Elemental, but you've also got like the Incredibles in their old school outfits
Yep.
and Talking Doug. That blew up the internet,
Talking
didn't it?
Doug is everything. Talking Doug is so cute. Like that was amazing when they rolled that out. The interaction was really, really cute. Yeah, Elemental characters we haven't seen, Luca characters, Merida's out meeting in Fantasyland Theater, tons of photo ops. Yeah, the Incredibles costumes look really good. Just like new stuff. Like the Incredibles are always out at DCA, but now they're new and different. So they did a good job.
Yeah. And then this. This is the one
Yeah.
that I told my son about, and it blew his mind, was the hiding 50 Pizza Planet trucks in other attractions. Like, this one is in Goofy's
This is
house. You
my
can see this
favorite.
up here.
This is my
Uh,
favorite.
Yeah, I am
this one right
obsessed with
here.
this right now. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and I'm not trying to give nothing away here because I almost like shied away from it again, just in case I'm able to get out to this before it ends in August. I would love to see this. Allison, you were piping up about that. Would you be all about looking for 50? And I'm sure your daughter would as well, looking for 50 different Pizza Planet trucks.
Yeah, it's funny because you'd think I'd be more excited about the big stuff because there's so much big stuff. But when I saw this, it's not just that they did it because there's so much care that goes into like essentially creating an Easter egg hunt, but there's so much design in it because they blend in so nicely and they like fit the design of where they are. And I'm not even like this huge like Pizza Planet truck person when I like see the movies. I don't get like that excited when I see these, but this is like something that I think is really special, and I'm really glad they're doing that.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that obviously happened that again blew up my Twitter feed was the plastic. The and we talked about this on an earlier episode. I have this graphic that I held up, and I was like, look at all of these offerings from the tumblers to you've got the Magic Key tumbler and the regular tumbler and the Doug popcorn bucket and the straw clips and the guitar. I have this that you got for me. Does that count as
Yeah.
Pixar or no? No, does it?
No, we have new stuff, new Coco.
Does this count?
Oh, I got you that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's returning. I have this. This is the one thing I splurged on.
Nice. So I
Yeah.
mean, all of this stuff that's out there, were people like going nuts over it? I
Oh
saw
my
a
God.
video of Tom recording you and Nana standing in a line getting some of this stuff. I mean, was it a nightmare? Because I remember on the 50th anniversary at Disney World, and I think Desi, you might have been there for the first, like the 50th. Were you there on that day? People were lining up crazy lines for the different colored balloon popcorn buckets, and those were just different colored balloon popcorn buckets. And that's me saying that. Like, I mean, and it was
I don't know where the
insane
line
lines.
is.
I know,
I
right?
never know
Yes.
where the line is.
Yeah, no one does. No one does. But is there one that's already sold out, or one that's been more popular than another?
No, like we waited, I think about 90 minutes. We got there a little before 7:30, not realizing they were actually going to open the popcorn lines early, which I think was smart. Everything else was on mobile order except for the popcorn buckets. So I think most people had DCA passes, so that was probably why our lines were a little bit longer than the Disneyland side. But yeah, popcorn lines were insane all day. The one in the front of DCA, I heard they had to cut off because it was all the way down to the main entrance. I did hear at one point the Coco guitar had maybe sold out at one park, but when I was there yesterday, I saw all of the popcorn buckets everywhere. So they've done a really good job keeping everything in stock so people don't have to buy a million and resell them. And please don't buy them from eBay. Please don't do that.
Just
No
say no.
resellers. No resellers.
One
Yeah.
one last thing, the food. We took an early preview of the food,
Yeah.
all the food booths that were coming. Did you sample any of this food? It all looked very very Instagrammable, the stuff that we had seen. Did you guys sample any of the food? Anything that stood
Yeah,
out to you
we
as like good?
Yeah, I did most of the food. Tom did all of it. I dipped in and out for about 75% of it. That cake you just showed, we ate that yesterday. That is Tom's like favorite thing that they have. The cake is really good. Weirdly, most of the food on the Disneyland side, actually, I thought was a little bit better. That's different than the norm. Usually, I feel like DCA is a little bit better. There was a cool Dole Whip from Tropical Hideaway. I think they're still working on our video review, so all of those reviews should be coming out probably tomorrow. But yeah, there were some good options, some fun options. They tried to theme it to Pixar stuff. A few of them we couldn't quite figure out what it was, but some solid options. Lots of cute stuff, lots of Instagrammable photos like that Mike Wazowski ice cream cone. Yeah, they went all out. They sent it.
That's what I'm saying is we had the food,
Yeah,
you had the
like,
merchandise, you had specific Magic Key merchandise, you had
yep.
all of these very unique meet and greets, you had the Club Pixar, the new fireworks, the new... Why wasn't there a new World of Color?
That's actually a good question. That seems
They're
like
just out there
something that
being lazy.
maybe, yeah,
It's just lazy.
like we didn't have enough to do.
Yeah, exactly. Before we move on, we did have a super chat. Thank you guys for trying to fill in for Shannon. I appreciate it. From Jungle Cruiser, a good friend, Jungle Cruiser, said, "This is all I can spare. Too many buckets bought." I know that Jungle Cruiser was out there
Yep.
just bucket, 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 and I do not blame you. So thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate it. Let's move on to talk about something that is a little bit more East Coast. So, Allie, take a breath. Hollywood Studios is turning 35 on May 1st this week. It's coming up. For those of you who are big fans of the network, WDWNT, we're holding a big event called Stage 89 that'll be down in the studios at Celebration to celebrate all things 1989 and including the Tower of Terror afterwards and some other things. So, but in 1989 is when the park opened, and I was there for the 30th anniversary and buying merch. Shocker, I know. They had all of the cool foods and all that kind of stuff, and they're actually having a celebration this time for this. And then they're announcing it ahead of time. I know I was there for the 40th of Epcot, and it was like day of. They were like, "Yeah, we'll do something. Mariachi Cobre, let's get you out here, and I don't know, let's bring the VP out, and we'll do that." But this one, they've actually got something planned. Desi, are you going to the park for this event?
I'm not going on Wednesday because I have too much work to do. I can't take the time off. I'm hopefully going on Saturday. We'll see because it's May the 4th on Saturday. And, I couldn't actually get into Hollywood Studios, so I'm going to try to go to Epcot, get my Stitch magnet, and then head over to Hollywood Studios if they will let me park hop over there. We will see. But hopefully I'll still get to see some of the stuff that's going on, maybe check out some of the merch. I don't mind this color scheme for the 35th. My biggest problem with the merch is that it has the awful version of Mickey Mouse on it. Yeah, hashtag not my Mickey. But I like the look of it otherwise, so I'm trying to debate whether or not I want to buy it or if because it's got the terrible Mickey on it, I still don't want it. Haven't made up my mind.
Well, if you want it, there's a virtual queue.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be sold out by Saturday, so we will see.
Oh, that's right, because she won't be there for the day of. I know that this is very foreign to Allison because Allison doesn't do merch. She also doesn't. I think she's a little shocked. She's a little frozen. Allison doesn't do merch, so I think the idea of not only having to buy merch but then to wait in a virtual queue first for merch. I would love to get your thoughts on that one. If you're back. She's still not. Technical difficulties, that's fine. But let me talk to you about the virtual queue stuff, and we're going to talk about Run Disney in a little bit, Allie. But virtual queue for merchandise, is that a good idea? Is that or at this point is it just a necessity?
It seems like at this point it's just a necessity. Like if they think it's going to be that chaotic, then then you do know where the line is, and it's not this mad rush of people trying to just grab everything and all the chaos. So I think that happened on the 50th at Magic Kingdom. It was just super chaotic, and it kind of sucks if you get a bad queue, but I guess it's better than just mass chaos.
Yeah, again, on the 30th, we just waited in line, and we rope dropped waiting in line to buy merch. Again, one of those crazy things. Um, but again, if y'all are planning on going on Wednesday, and you already have a ticket or a park reservation, the ceremony begins at 11 a.m. And it includes park representatives and surprise characters. And it'll be, it says, due to this event, the 11 a.m. showing of Beauty and the Beast live on stage at the Theater of the Stars will not be playing. So if you guys were like already scheduling in your MDX that you're going to go to that showing of Beauty and the Beast, you're not going to be able to see it. So sorry. I do look at this and think, Allie, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at Pixar Fest. This is 35 years of this park. Pixar Fest is just a random, we're going to celebrate Pixar. It seems crazy, right? It seems like we should be seeing more for the 35th, or does the 35th not matter? Or
I feel like it should. It's easy money. Make merchandise, sell more tickets. It just, characters out, just seems easy for them to just make money off these things.
I mean, they're not really in it for the money making, I don't think, so, you know. Anyway, let's move on to the next thing that I'm calling Smell That. It is the Smellephants on Parade, brought to you by Scentsy, and this is something that has been coming for a while. They've been talking about this coming to everybody's favorite Storybook Circus, where everybody goes. I don't know. I think this is actually a neat thing to try to lure people back in there, but I can't tell if it's like, you know, some kind of a, if it's, I guess, a scavenger hunt. It seems weird because, like, they're really big elephants. Like, hopefully, like, you know, I mean, I assume we're going to be able to spot this sucker as opposed to those Pixar Pizza Planet trucks when we're coming through. But I love, like, the vibe of all of these. This one looks like a shave ice. There's some that look like popcorn and candy apples, and I mean, it just looks really, really cool. And so I'm excited about this, just the fact that they've got another offering. I mean, Desi, is this something that you would take your kids to that they'd be excited about?
Yeah, I think it's something my kids would be excited about, and they like that area anyway. I still kind of have an issue with the name. I don't know. I feel like that's a weird name, Smellephants on Parade. But I like the concept. I feel like some of them are definitely going to be better than others. I mean, I think something like a candy apple is probably going to smell amazing. I'm not so sure about the corn dog smelling one, but we'll see. Maybe I go and I'm like, you know what? That corn dog really did smell amazing, actually. And now I'm going to want a corn dog candle from, what's the sponsor again?
Magical
Scentsy.
Scentsy.
Oh, Scentsy, yeah.
Okay.
It is Scentsy, yeah.
So I'll buy a corn dog candle from Scentsy, and then I'll eat my words. But otherwise, I'm gonna say that, yeah, candy apple,
Churro.
you know, yeah, the sweet smelling ones are probably going to smell better. Well, I mean, I like the smell of popcorn too, but so we'll see. We'll see. Okay. I'll hold judgment until I smell it for myself.
Oh, wow. I will hold judgment until I smell it for myself. Yeah, I mean, again, we've been hearing about this for a while. It seems like an easy installation that when they announced this thing, it was a while ago. Feels like they would have brought this back already, but yeah, it's kind of sad that we don't have this back in our lives yet, because we have Tiana is not ready yet. We're going to talk about that in a second. And, you know, anything that would help to, again, Club Pixar this, bring people to a place in the park that they don't normally go to, whether it's the splash pad or the train station, and now you've got something else that might keep people busy, and then just give people room to breathe. And I hope that it's a fun thing, as opposed to like the Harry Potter things where you have to stand in line and you have to watch the 8 people in front of you do the exact same thing. A little bit of a spoiler. They had that for World Showcase Adventure. I would love to see this, you know, happen very soon in time for the summer. That would be great. Although that Florida heat is going to bake these things. Have we thought about that yet? then try that corn dog, Desi. Let's see how that goes.
I thought the ice doesn't even have a smell, so I don't know what the shave ice one is going to smell like.
Sugar.
It's really
just like
just sugar.
just like lots and lots of sugar. So let's talk about Tiana and trains, because there is a section of Frontierland where they're still working on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and then they also have a new staircase. I don't know, Desi, have you been there since they put the new staircase in Frontierland?
Um,
It's on the left for some reason now.
then I didn't see it, but I've been there. I just haven't seen it then.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to me that they're doing that. I hope that what they're planning on is this breaking up the crowd, that, half goes up on the left and they come down on the right, and then the people in the middle are going to the Bayou Adventure, because that's going to be a crazy amount of traffic that's going on back there when that opens up. So I'm very nervous about the kind of traffic that we're going to see there. I'm sure it's going to be another virtual queue, wake up at 6:55 to try to get your kid on the only thing they came there to ride. Always exciting. Always exciting. But the one that we've seen all the animatronics, and I want to get your take on this, Allie, because this is coming to you guys, but and I say you as if you own Disneyland. It's coming out to Disneyland, in the fall, I believe, or winter, right? And I mean,
no date, yeah.
Have you seen the animatronics, and are you just like excited for this, or how are people out there feeling?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. The animatronics look great. Ours looks way further behind than the Florida one, so I think it's going to be closer to winter before we get anything. But yeah, I think everybody out here is just excited to just have that ride back. It is very dead in that section of the park, especially with Haunted Mansion also down. So we need it all happening. But the animatronics look wonderful. I think the ride's going to be hopefully super fun.
Yeah. Welcome back, Allison. I think she was back for half a second.
Uh-oh.
She's at least in a different pose. So, she's got a Vogue thing happening. But I was going to say, we've seen a lot of little changes happening to the one in Florida. And so when is this thing going to open, Desi? Like, I mean, there was summer. I get that, summer of 2024, but I feel like we've been waiting for this to open for a while, and it looks like I would love to see this. I would love to see them go, "Hey guys, it opens tomorrow." We're gonna see that happen?
I don't think that's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is there will be cast previews, and then there will be AP previews, and then they will tell us when it's going to open. So if I had to guess, I don't know. This is a wild guess. They're going to start cast previews maybe like by Memorial Day. That is a total wild guess. I have no idea. No clue. But summer 2024 could be the end of August for all I know. We'll see.
Well, I mean, again, everything looks like it's in place. The queue looks like it's ready to go. They've added the truck, the boxes. If you follow WDWNT.com, we give you any new box that they've put in place is announced instantly. The other thing that's interesting is that the entrance to this looks like it's going to have a lightning lane entrance that goes right up into the area right next to the train station, and then maybe just the standard line is going to go back through the same way that we always used to go through for Splash Mountain. That's going to be interesting to see how that all works out. The thing that gets me, though, is this is not ADA friendly. I mean, is there an elevator somewhere that I don't know about? Because, like, when you go, I mean, this new staircase up it's pretty steep. And I think about that, and I think about, like, Harry Potter, the Gringotts, like that huge staircase that's there, and I'm like, what are we doing? Like, things should be easy entry, I guess. I don't know. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to switch to us talking about rumors about about Figment. So the Imagination Pavilion has seen some tweaks happen recently where they've tweaked the projections on the floor. That's a story we talked about today in the ImageWorks, and then they tweaked the water cooler, and we noticed it, and it's like a big deal that they've done. I don't know why they would change things if they're going to finally redo this attraction, but I hope they redo this attraction soon. I'm very excited for the possibility. We saw a teaser of Figment walking into Imagineering in California, and now there is actually, and like I said, let's start a rumor about what's going to happen, because there is a construction permit that lasts through September of 2025 Um, Allie, if there's any indication of how long it's taken them to redo Tiana, do we think this is anything more than just like common maintenance, or again, start a rumor? I mean, let's have it.
Yeah, I mean, let's not tear it down, but let's redo the ride and bring it back to its former glory. I mean, we're done with everything else basically in the front there once Communicore Hall opens. Figment deserves all of the love. Like, bring back the Rainbow Tunnel, put it back the way it was, bring him back to his glory. Like, please, please, please fix that ride, help him.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. We are not we are not getting the original. But you know, one thing that one thing that I noticed when I was in Magic Eye Theater, like that entranceway, which they're moving Mickey out of there, they're putting him in Communicore Hall. That lobby leaks like nobody's business. It is crazy. How have you guys been in there when it's raining? Like that whole lobby is.
No.
It's almost like something that was built in 1982. It's crazy. But I wonder if this is all just like straight construction or if they could add any elements to this. ImageWorks needs a glow up hard. It definitely does.
Yeah.
The ImageWorks is just a shadow of what it used to be. I don't know how you keep up with interactive elements like that because you know you can do most of that stuff on an app on your phone. So I don't know how exciting some of that stuff is for kids, but if you could see one thing change, Desi, either the theater get an upgrade and new stuff, or the ImageWorks change, because I don't think it's going to be a huge change to the ride. Which one would your kids appreciate more?
My kids would definitely appreciate the theater being changed more. They love ImageWorks, but you know, I don't trust their judgment all the time. But they love ImageWorks as it is. So that theater, does anyone ever go in there for any reason other than to take a picture with Mickey if they actually know what they're getting into? Other than maybe just, I need an app and I need a place to pull down.
I mean, I do. Now, I wouldn't waste a lightning lane on it if I'm using Genie Plus, which a lot of people do. They're like, "Oh boy, fam, we're all set. We got that 305 Shorts Theater reservation. We're going to bypass everybody." Is there any less exciting feeling when you get to the place and the standby line is faster than the lightning lane? Probably not. That's a little bit depressing. But I like those films that are in there. I wish they would do something bigger or at least swap them out. Yeah. That part seems easy. Swap them out.
Yeah. Because
you've got a huge bank of Pixar and Disney shorts that you can do, and then you've got all of this stuff. You've got just signage out front. How hard is that to change? I don't know.
So hard.
So hard. Let's talk about this, because when I saw this story, Allie, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? We've talked about magic bands. I used to have a magic band problem. Now I've converted it to a full-blown popcorn bucket sipper problem. But the Magic Band problem I had was anything that was in a box, I needed to have it. It was great. When Magic Band Plus came out, I was like, oh man, this is like $50 to $70 a pop for a Magic Band. I don't have the drive anymore, or the funds, to come up with every new one that they have. But you would think that they would make it more valuable to have these, and now they're doing this weird thing out in California with the construction walls of Haunted Mansion, where they are doing interactive elements with your Magic Band Plus on the construction walls. And here's why I'm a little upset, is I don't know if you're familiar with Epcot, but it has had walls for years, and pretty much through the whole Magic Band Plus thing. I would love to go and like hit my Magic Band against the wall at Epcot and hear the quotes that are up there. Like, hear maybe Walt say them, or the character say them. Like, I would be down with, just give me something. Because, I mean, the walls have been there. Have you tried this feature yet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did it the other day. It's fun. It's a nice feature. I wouldn't, like, book a ticket and fly out here just to do it.
No, it's too late. I already did. This is the only thing I want in my life.
No, like, it's a nice addition, and I've been complaining lately, like, the Magic Band doesn't do a whole lot anymore. But yeah, this is like, okay, cool, this does something, and now I'm happy I have a Magic Band. Like, I wouldn't buy more Magic Bands anymore because there's just not enough happening with them. But this is I mean, again, I'm always happy when you add more stuff and give me more value.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's, I mean, I like more value. More value is a cool thing. Um, I don't know. I'm not really sure I understand this, but we do we do have a super chat. So Troy McDonald says, "Hello, I'm your 50 like hi from Maine."
Well, hi.
Thank you. Hi from Maine.
Hi.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Yeah. So thank you so much for the super chat, Troy. We appreciate it. Yeah. I know that in California you guys had the medallions. We have statues. You have medallions. At least there's something we have that's better than yours. So we have the medallion. We don't have the medallions. Go ahead.
The big Pixar statues, the one at DCA does interact with the Magic Band. And I don't know if the one at Disneyland does, but yeah, so those two things they put in at the front of each park do interact with the Magic Band. So it's not statues, but it's fine. We have Pixar trucks. It's fine.
We don't even stop to like wave at the statues anymore because it's just we happen to be passing by them and the kids' magic bands start going off and that's all they're excited about. They don't care about the statues at all. They're just like, look, my magic band's lighting up. That's it. That's all that matters to them. It doesn't have to actually interact with anything. Just as long as it randomly lights up for no reason, my kids are happy.
I did set it off every race past the Figment statue.
That is true. That is true. And again, we'll talk about the Run Disney at the end. But when we got to the end, you were like waving past Figment. So, as long as you got your money's worth, that's really all that matters to me. So let's talk about this. I thought this was interesting. Is that there's a deal with Wreck-It Ralph that they announced, and I have lots of thoughts here. But I want to pull up the concept art for this one so that you guys can see it. Although it says, "Oops, that page can't be found." That's awesome. We'll talk about it. We'll just talk about it. But Buzz Lightyear attraction in Hong Kong was turned into Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I believe that when Tom and Jason went and wrote it, they just tore it apart. They were like, "This is not great." The Buzz Lightyear attraction at Disneyland and Disney World are very similar, although like the Astro Blasters, you can pull the gun out, and there are different shapes to shoot at and all that. So. Desi, would you want to see the story is that Wreck-It Ralph is taking the place of Buzz Lightyear in Tokyo. So like 2 down, 2 to go. Like, would you want to see this happen and come here as Wreck-It Ralph, as something else, or just an upgraded Buzz?
Literally last weekend when I asked my kids, what park do you want to go to? My son said, I want to go to the one with the Buzz Lightyear ride. And I was like, okay, well, do you mean Alien Swirling Saucers? Do you mean, the one at Magic Kingdom or the one at Hollywood Studios? And he said Magic Kingdom. So the only reason we went to Magic Kingdom last week, other than the fact it was Dapper Day at Magic Kingdom, was because my son wanted to ride Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. That's his number one ride. And when we went to Paris, that was the first ride he wanted to do at Disneyland Paris, was the Buzz Lightyear ride there. I cannot imagine him being cool with Wreck-It Ralph instead. He calls it Romper Ralph because they watch it in Spanish class. I watched it with them once in English, and it's just not something that they're as into. I think that my kids would be devastated to have Wreck-It Ralph instead of Buzz Lightyear. They're just huge Toy Story fans. So, fine, clean up the current iteration of Buzz Lightyear, do something different with it, but keep it Buzz. Don't turn it into Wreck-It Ralph. At least for me and my family, we're much bigger Buzz Lightyear fans than we are Wreck-It Ralph fans.
Gotcha. What about out west? What do you want to see happen out there, Ellie?
I'd be okay with Wreck-It Ralph, but I mean, to Desi's point, like, I do get it. People with kids who really, really, really love Toy Story, that would probably be pretty sad. But like for us, we can easily walk across the way and go to Pixar Pier and do that ride in the back that's kind of similar. I like Wreck-It Ralph. I think it's an interesting idea. I'm okay with it. I'm always here to try new things. But I mean, I don't know. I think it would be okay.
Just sit there and look pretty. That's all you need to do. It's fine.
Okay.
We're all good. Sorry, we're still trying to work with Allison to see if we could get her back on to talk about some stuff with us. But let's move on to Strange Tales that came from the parks, because this is always one of my favorite little topics to talk about. Is that came from the parks. So these are basically stories that we combed WDWNT.com. We found some very interesting stories about people behaving badly in the parks, and we kind of combined them all and it's kind of a mess out there. And you know what's funny is, Allie, very, very few of them do I ever hear are from Disneyland. It seems like most of the time they're from Disney World. Although this time I also have a couple that are from, what do you call it? Universal. They're from Universal. So,
is she back?
I
Yay.
think so, maybe. So, all right. Can you hear us okay, Allison? No? She cannot hear us. Okay, cool. All right. Well, do you know sign language? I'm not really sure. All right, so we'll talk about some of this stuff from It Came from the Parks, and maybe we can have her text in her answers. All right, hang on a second. Let's see. So one of them actually is from DCA, and so again, the way this works is we're going to read them to you, and then you guys pick the ones that you want to talk about. So let's see. Hang on a second. The first one here, like I said, is from DCA. It is the guest slaps woman on ground at Pixar Pier in Disney California Adventure. That's not friendly. So that's one of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of page here you go. Florida teacher arrested for indecent exposure at Walt Disney World Resort Hotel. I don't think any of y'all on this panel are teachers, right? I just want to make sure that wasn't something. No, nobody. No. Great. This one says, homeless man at Walt Disney World charged with battery for forcibly shoving candy down a sheriff deputy's body armor. That one, I'm just like, what? What is your deal? I don't understand that one. This one, again, is a California one. Very rare to have two. Disneyland Magic Key Holder banned for a year after reselling tickets. And again, Allie, I hope that was not you.
It was not me.
Yeah. And then this one, guest sued, and this is again Disneyland, guest suing Disneyland Resort because Goofy fell on her. What? There's a lot of weirdness going on here. But the last one that I wanted to talk about was this one with this kid climbing Skull Island sign. Like, this is one that is happened at Universal, not at Disney, but apparently climbed to the top for a really good photo op is what happened. And we have a whole like litany of people just sitting and watching this happen. So nobody's stepping in. This is all just happening. There's a lot to choose from there, my friends. I'm going to start with Desi on this one and see, is there one, you're shaking your head, so it must be about one in particular. Is there one in particular that you'd like to start and talk about?
First off, I will just do a blanket for all of these, what is wrong with people.
There you go.
For all of them. All of them, that is what I have to say, what is wrong with people. But the one I'm going to pick is actually the what is wrong with Disney. Is the Disneyland one with the Magic Key Holder getting banned for a year. I felt like this did not warrant, this guy getting banned for a year. He had COVID. He knew he couldn't make this special event, and so he tried selling his tickets at cost. Okay, he wasn't making a profit. He's just trying to get his money back because he's trying to do the responsible thing and not showing up. You know what he could have done? He could have gone anyways, even though he had COVID, because website says these, you can't return the tickets. They're non-refundable. So what's he going to do? He's either going to try to sell them and get his money back, or he's going to show up and get everybody else sick. He did the responsible thing. And so he's just supposed to be out of the money because Disney doesn't give refunds. I think that's kind of messed up. He should be allowed for this one-time ticket to sell it at cost because he knows that he can't make it, and he would be putting other people in danger if he does. I don't think that it's that terrible that he has to be banned for a year, and not only that, he has to spend the stupid amount of money that Disneyland people have to pay for a magic, what is it, like $1,900 for a year?
It's not quite that bad, but it's pretty close.
He doesn't.
I was going to say it's pretty close. It is not. Yeah, I mean it's not great. Sorry, Desi.
He doesn't get any of that money back, and it's just like. And he tried appealing it. He tried going through different levels of trying to appeal this. Everybody's like, no, you still have to pay for your magic key, and you're banned for coming here for a full year. I think that's messed up. I think that he should be allowed to go back into the parks because he was doing a responsible thing and wanted to get his money back.
Yeah. Okay. Allie?
Well, unfortunately, I was also going to pick that one. I'm with Desi on this. Like, this seemed really, it seemed really harsh for what it was. I mean, if there was more information, like, was it that he sold it on eBay was the problem? I thought initially it said he did sell it for a little bit more, so I can see where that would get him in trouble. Or if he bought it with a magic key discount and sold it at face value, then technically he would have been making money. So I don't know if there's a technicality in there, but this, again, just seems super harsh. Like, this happens all the time. Like, I've bought tickets for my friends, and then they Venmo me for them. So how is that, like, a whole lot different? Like, am I just supposed to pay for everybody's ticket? So, I mean, the thing they need to be cracking down on are these people in there leaving with 10 popcorn buckets. Like, these are the people that are the problem. Cancel their magic keys. Like, this guy trying to do a responsible thing, get his money back, not get everybody sick, or let him return the tickets and then Disney can resell the tickets like the day of. There was a lot of options. This seems super extreme on my end.
Yeah, okay, I get that. Yeah. So nobody wanted to talk about Goofy falling on a person.
No.
I have more questions about that than anything. I don't want to touch that one.
And the one with the kid on the Skull Island, I just think everybody's going, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, cool.
Well, what are you going to do? If I'm there,
like, this is what we do now. Yeah.
Climbing up, I'm not going after them. That person's probably crazy.
No, you're right. There's only one thing you can do. Isn't that basically it? Yeah. No, I think that's definitely a thing. That I don't know. I mean, it's an accident. I don't know how you sue over that if that actually is what happened. And it was from 2022. Yeah. This is coming up now, but I look at that. I'm like, I'm not really sure what happened there, but it's still I'm not loving that. Let's backtrack a little bit to something we were gonna let Allison talk about, but I'll let you guys talk about it here. Is the Victoria and Albert's is now big time. They have a 1 Michelin star. To be honest. I'm a Casey's Corner kind of a guy, so I didn't know what a Michelin star was or why the Michelin Man was involved with this. I'm not fancy. I'm not fancy. Just give me a hot dog and a popcorn bucket, and I'm really good to go. But especially, again, because y'all seem like very upscale ladies. You probably have either of you ever been to Victoria and Albert's?
No, it's on the bucket list though.
It's on the bucket list. Okay. So, but there's nothing like that. Nothing like that out in California, is there? Michelin star. And you don't have that. Okay.
Just go to Beverly Hills. Okay.
Living in Beverly Hills. Got it. But Desi, does this mean anything more to you? You said it was on your bucket list. Now that it has a Michelin star, did it move up your bucket list? Or are you just like, now it's going to be extra special? Or it's just like, now it's going to be harder to get into?
I mean, it was already, what is it, a 5 diamond is the AAA one, so that's basically like the equivalent of having a Michelin star anyway. it doesn't move it any higher up. I'm actually surprised it didn't have one before now. It seems like it should have. So um, I feel like it's one of only one or two other ones in Florida, or at least in Central Florida. So good for them. I'm wondering if they're going to try to get it for Takumite or another one of their signature dining restaurants next.
Casey's Corner. I have my fingers
I'm
crossed.
not a Casey. I am the opposite of you, and I will not eat at Casey's Corner unless it's my
Woody's
only option.
Roundup Barbecue?
I'll eat a roundup barbecue, yeah.
Yeah, I'll eat a roundup barbecue. You're like, if there's no table service, there's no Desi. That's really basically what you're telling me. Allie, again, you got Carthay,
Hmm.
and I guess Blue Bayou. Like, I don't think there's anything of maybe Napa. Was
I
Napa
loved
be
Carthay.
up there?
Napa. Napa is pretty
But
fancy.
is Victoria and Albert's on your bucket list at all, or are you just like, nah?
Yeah, it would be on my bucket list. My best friend actually ate there maybe like 10 years ago, and she said it was the most amazing experience and the most amazing meal she's ever had. She's like, we stayed at All Stars for 10 days to save all of our money to be able to splurge on this dinner, and that's probably the situation I'd be in unless somebody wants to take me. I'll behave. But yeah, definitely a bucket list, but not something that I would not like every trip. Like, oh no, I wish I could go. I mean, that's great. They got their Michelin star. Happy for Disney, but not real high on my priority list.
I
We got
understand.
a super chat, Rob, if you missed
Oh,
it.
okay. Well, you know what that means then, Desi. This is from CK Barry. Got evacuated off Smuggler's Run last week. Got to take elevators and hallways to ride again, and they gave us Chewy mode. Gave you Chewy mode. Is that a thing? Is that a
Oh,
thing you can do?
Ooh,
Did you
you
fancy.
ask for
can.
Chewy mode
Yeah,
and they just said,
I have asked for Chewy mode before, and they've given it to me.
really? I thought you just had
Ooh.
to tank the
Hmm.
whole thing as a group. Like, as a group, agree, like six of you step in there and go, we are going to sink this ship. Like, I thought that's how that happened, but no. That's very cool. Awesome. Well, congratulations and thank you for the super chat. We appreciate you. Um, let's jump down to talk about Disney Springs for a little bit because, hey, um,
Hey.
yeah, because Disney Springs is what downtown Disney would look like on steroids, Allie. If you were wondering how that would work, honestly,
I'm
like to
aware.
be honest, you're like I'm painfully aware that that's how that works. Honestly,
Yes.
I downtown Disney is great, and I'm surprised that because they don't have the blessing of size out there that you are able to have anything like that. So that's very cool. But there's some different things that are going on with the drone show is coming, and but the thing that saw that I thought was interesting about this was that the NBA experience. We are stripping down the NBA experience. It is going bye bye. We're all very sad about that. No, nobody sad about that.
No. No.
Um, but I mean, it's what I don't understand is like they're removing like all these panels, these decorative panels from the NBA experience. So I mean, I I I guess that's just to make it more generic. It almost looks like an airport at this point somewhere, doesn't it? Or I'm not really
Kind
sure.
of.
Um, but you've got again this whole complex of Disney Springs, and this area on the West End seems like you've got Cirque du Soleil, and you had the NBA experience before that. It was Disney Quest. It seems like you need to do like I feel like they should be on high alert to make something else happen here. Do you ever go to hang out at Disney Springs? Is it the fifth park, the unofficial?
Yeah, I like hanging out at Disney Springs. I go there pretty often just to, you know, get a drink at Jock Lindsay's or go have a bite to eat or do some shopping. Um, yeah, I like hanging out at Disney Springs. Um, I'd like to see something happen with this just to have, you know, more people spread out. I'm surprised that they're doing a drone show at Disney Springs before doing that at Animal Kingdom. It feels like if you're going to do a drone show, do it at Animal Kingdom. I feel like there's already a crowding problem at Disney Springs in the evening. There's not a crowding problem at Animal Kingdom in the evening. Do a drone show over there where, you know, it is one of your actual parks where you don't have a nighttime show, do a drone show there. Why Disney Springs?
Well, you know what? They've done one at Disney Springs before.
I know.
But there was it was a holiday show that they did. I went and saw it once. But I agree with you. I think that they should have something in that beautiful Rivers of Light amphitheater, we'll call
Yes.
it. The Kite
Yes.
Tails Graveyard. I mean, it's just this huge, expansive piece of land that basically its whole job is to ferry characters on little boats back and forth now at this point. So I agree with you. I think that there should be a drone show there. One of the things, though, is they're using a section of the surface lot to stage the drones. So I don't know if you just don't have an area to stage them. I feel like you've
It's
got
the
to. That
strawberry
whole
lot.
Yes, of course. But they're getting ready for this thing. They've got like speakers that they've already put up for the drone show that look fairly temporary for these speakers. So we know this thing is going to last through the summer, and then that's it. But one thing I wanted to ask you guys about, and I'll ask you about this, Allie, is that there's a VIP. I don't know, have either of you guys seen Drawn to Life? Because I have not. You've
No.
seen it. Okay, well then I will ask Desi about this question then, Allie, and you can again hold off because Run Disney's coming up. They've got this page to stage signature experience that they've announced, this VIP experience, which I guess is kind of cool because you can I think it's like a backstage experience with Cirque du Soleil, and I would love to see this show now that it's Disney theme. I never saw La Nuba. But there's so much already that when I go on vacation to do at Disney, that the idea of buying a ticket to something that is like a better Lion King Festival of Lion King, it seems like let me just spend my time in the parks. But Desi, you've seen the show. Is it amazing? And would you pay for this VIP experience?
I think the VIP experience was like $200 or something like that. And isn't Keys to the Kingdom about the same price? So I feel like I would rather do Keys to the Kingdom if I'm doing one or the other. I mean, I guess it also includes your ticket to see Drawn to Life, so that's cool too. I did enjoy Drawn to Life. I thought it was great. I feel like I have seen better Cirque du Soleil shows, but I mean, I still think Cirque du Soleil, like all of them, are great. So, yeah, I liked the Disney ties in Drawn to Life, but I don't know if I would pay for this VIP experience. But maybe if my aunt comes to town again and wants to blow some more money on VIP stuff for us, then yeah, let's go.
$225 for kids, $285 for adults. I think maybe because
yeah.
you're a smaller American, you were thinking you might go for $225, but you have to pay the $285. Sorry.
Yeah, no, not paying that. Sorry.
All right.
I bet
Let's talk about
I
this.
bet it's great. I bet it's.
Let's talk about
whoever
this.
goes on it would love it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, again, I just need to go see the show first, and maybe I'll love it so much I'll go back and do the VIP tour. But it would be a neat night if I lived local and I could go and buy and go to dinner at downtown or at Disney Springs, go to the West End, see Cirque du Soleil, Drawn to Life, and then flip over to Splitsville and bowl a few frames. That'd be great. I wish Springs was open later. That's my only thing is it closes so early now post COVID that I feel like we need to get some stuff back there. But let's talk about these plush headbands. I guess they got so tired of coming up with new headbands. They're like, let's just make people make their own. Let's just do that. You can now create your own headband with what looked to me to be knockoff Tsum Tsums. Is that what I'm looking at here, Allie? Have you been out there and have you made your own? I know you're a newly minted headband aficionado. So is this one something that's on your radar? Did you make one with just 3 Baymaxes or something on it?
Oh, if they had a Baymax, I would probably cave and buy one. No, it's not my style. It's cute. The people that like it are really excited about it. I like the idea of it. You can customize it. I do think they need some more options. Because where did this originate? Was this Hong Kong, I think?
Yeah.
Was where they started these originally. Yeah, and then brought it out here. I like the idea of it. Just personally not for me. Unless they get Baymax.
I have so many ears in my life that I have promised my husband that I would cut back. I like the idea of this. I think especially for a little kid, looking for something to do, maybe somebody who can't do all the big rides yet, take the kid to go pick out what characters she might want on her headband. That would be something cute to do. I don't know. It's probably not for me personally. Just looking at the big bin of decapitated character heads, and I don't know. Not my thing, but I could see how it would be a fun, cute thing to do with a kid.
I don't think they're supposed to look like decapitated heads, but they kind of look like decapitated heads. I guess they're supposed to look like mouse ears, but when you put 3 on, then maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But this seems like, didn't they do a thing, Allie, and maybe it was only in Florida, maybe I'm remembering this wrong, not too long ago, that it was a make your own ears and you could pop things onto them? Not stuffed animals.
Yeah, vaguely remember that.
Yeah. So again, I feel like they're just like, they're making, every week I'm scouring the website so that we could talk about stuff on ParksCenter, and it's like this new headband and that new headband and a 3 Caballeros headband, and here's a headband that is just like the other one, only it's 3 shades greener than the last one. And I mean, again, one person's popcorn bucket is another person's headband. I totally get that. There is no judgment coming from this side on that. Let's talk about this. So there is a full guide for Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month at Disney Parks. There's a full food guide here. To be honest, I feel like this is a good question for both of you guys, because I know that, Allie, your significant other is from Hawaii, and you put down the Hawaii food booth every year. When you looked at this food, does it look like the kind of stuff that you're like, okay, that's representative?
I scrolled through there. There was a few things I thought looked kind of good. I was a little surprised a lot of it was stuff that's already being offered. So I don't know if they're just trying to... I don't think lazy is the word I want to use, but it's like, here's all this stuff we already have, go eat it. Like, I don't know, it just seemed a little bit like an afterthought. Like, I would rather they do 3 or 4 dishes and do them really, really well, like 1 or 2 dishes to really represent each culture, do a great job. Please consult some people that are actually from that culture. And I think, I've eaten all of that food. Like, that's not new, that's been there. Like, I've had all that, it's great, but...
Yeah, but what they want you to do is they want you to eat it this month. Have you eaten it this month? Or in May? Have you eaten it in May?
No.
Oh, see, no. It's not May yet. You haven't eaten it. You would have been lying if you had said you'd eaten it in May. But yeah, and Desi, you were saying the same thing too. You're like, this is all food.
That was exactly what I was gonna say. I mean, no, I would absolutely go to Animal Kingdom just to get that Moana cupcake. But some of it, that is the exact same comment that I was going to have, was that a lot of these offerings are not necessarily for AAPI month, because it's like, oh, we're going to be offering some Japanese food at the Japan booth. We're going during the Flower and Garden Festival, which you would have been doing anyway. It's like, go get some frushi. They've had frushi every Flower and Garden Festival ever. Go get some dumplings over in China at Epcot. Well, yes, obviously they're going to have Asian food at the China one. Oh, go to Morimoto, Asia. They're going to have some Asian offerings there. Obviously, like, don't be like, look at all these great Asian offerings that we have at our places that we're going to have Asian offerings anyway.
Right.
Look, we've got all this stuff at the Hawaii booth. Would you not have had Hawaiian food otherwise? I don't get it. Don't say that this is special and you're doing it for AAPI month when it's stuff you would be doing anyway.
Yeah, you know what really got me about all of this was I've spoken before that I love that when they do things for special occasions like Pixar Fest, Season of the Force, but also for things like International Women's Day or for 4th of July or, AAPI month. That's great. But what I noticed was that they did for Black History Month, they did Tiana's beignets. And then for Women's Month, they did Tiana's beignets, and it was like they've kind of just been there the whole time, right? You're like, no, this is different. This beignet celebrates women. So anyway, I don't know. I want there to be lots of things like this. I love that. The other holiest of days, Desi, is May the 4th. And there are a lot of food offerings, and again, poor Allie is like got to get into like ready mode because you just finished eating all the Pixar stuff or seeing all the characters and all that. Here comes May the 4th, and I gotta say, Allie, May the 4th be with you, because this Saturday is going to be something. It's also coincides, by the way, for those of you who celebrate, Free Comic Book Day is on Saturday, May the 4th. So a lot of stuff to be doing out there on May the 4th. But Desi, you said you couldn't get Desi couldn't get a resi for May the 4th. Oh no!
No, I'm so sad about it.
But you'll find a way to get out there, won't you? I mean, you just park up later in the afternoon?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to go to Epcot. I'm going to go get my stuff to celebrate AAPI month, and get my Stitch magnet, and then head over to Hollywood Studios and then do all of my Star Wars stuff. So hopefully I will be able to hop over there and get all the food. I don't think that I was really super in love with any of the merchandise for May the 4th this year. But the food, I'm probably just going to eat all of it because it all looks super cute. I know that they've had those lightsaber churros before, but I'm still going to get it anyway. I just
do you buy both of them? Do you buy both of them?
Probably just red. Just you know I'm a first order loyalist, so gotta go with the red
I do
one.
know this. I do know this. But I mean, not for nothing. But if you're headed over there Saturday, if you happen to stumble across one of those, hit me up. It's yeah.
If you need me to, I will get one. But I think Allie's at her plastic limit. That I need to stop buying popcorn buckets because they take up so much space.
They do.
I made that promise for popcorn buckets. I didn't necessarily make it for sippers, so we will see. I really want that, but I think it's only going to be at Disneyland, so I'm kind of PO'd about it. That's why I have my Porg here, because I'm like, I would love to have a little Loth cat sitting next to my Porg, and it would have just made the cutest little set. And I'm really upset about it. But I've already, I feel like I've hit my limit. So I can't buy anymore unless it's in Florida and I see it there in front of me and I'm like, oh, I can't help myself. But if it's like I got to go reach out to somebody to go get it for me and then ship it over.
Will you get this?
That one I'm not as into. That one.
Yeah, this looks like something they made up just to like catfish me, I think is what they did. It's just like, it's plastic. You're gonna want that. From what movie? Where did I see this from? Where am I missing this from? Is this what Luke should have been drinking out of when he drank like the green milk on the side of the hill? Like, I don't know. I think I could pass on that one, but that popcorn bucket looks pretty cool to me. But you know what? I may just roll the bones and see if it's still there in June because sometimes that happens. They can't get rid of it and. It's still there a little bit later. Maybe everybody has given up popcorn buckets for Lent, and I can get on that. Before we go past this topic, and I know we're running a little bit late, folks, so thank you guys for being with us, is that they've changed for Savi's workshop and for the Droid Depot, they've changed it to be you have to prepay for your lightsaber and for your droid. Allie, I want to ask you about that because I'm not really sure I understand why. I mean, did they have a bunch of people skipping town with their stolen lightsaber? Or because they make you pay before you go in, but like prepaying for that, like 6 months before my trip, paying $250 for a lightsaber and maybe I get 2 of them, that's an ouch. That hurts a lot. So what are your thoughts?
That's only in Florida. They're not doing it here, which if they did it here, I feel like it'd be weird because I don't ever see anybody in the Droid Depot, like, buying a droid. There's, like, maybe one person when I walk through there. So I think the novelty of it's maybe worn off. I don't know what's happening in Florida. I guess if you're a diehard, you'll do it, but can't you always just walk up and do what you want to do there?
Yeah, I think so.
It just seems like a big commitment ahead of time. Like your kid might not be interested anymore by the time you go, or when you go, your kid might want it. I'm sure they'll take your money.
Yep. No, I agree. It's one of those things where like it feels like you can wait, but it's a great experience. If you've never done Savi's workshop, I would highly recommend it. You don't all have to get lightsabers, but one person go in and I think you can bring, is it 1 or 2 people with you? One.
Yeah.
And so you guys could go in and the experience is great, especially if you need a saber. If you're like, it's time to replace my old one, the Kyber crystal ain't what it used to be. What shocks me about this though is when this experience broke with the land, it was $199.95, so $200. It's $50 more already.
Yeah, it's
what?
Crazy.
That is an insane price increase, I feel like, for that. So, and the idea that you have to prepay for it is kind of crazy. So, again, hope everybody who celebrates gets to go out and celebrate May the 4th wherever you are, whether it's going to see Phantom Menace 25th anniversary in the theater, or whether it's going to Disney Plus and watching something, or Desi and I are going to be doing Deep in the Plus on May the 1st. We're going to do Solo, a Star Wars story, and so hopefully you guys can join us for that one, and that'll be fun. The last thing I want to talk about tonight is Run Disney. Anybody who's watched the show has known that I was a very scared boy about the balloon ladies catching me. And Allie, again, dragged me over the finish line for the 10K that we did. It was magical. The funny thing is, I have thought this, and I'm going to admit this. I'm like, you Run Disney people, what is your problem? You want to, like, if I'm going on vacation, I want to go on vacation and have a good time. But like, why would you do this? It was a pretty cool experience. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like leading up to it, I was like, what have I done? And somebody tweeted me this. They were like, you go through these phases, like, where am I? What have I done? Yeah. Why am I doing this? We had to like flip our sleep schedule so we could get up at 2:30 in the morning. We went to bed at 8, which is totally against my religion. We got up at 2:30 in the morning to go catch a bus to go out to walk like a lot to get to the place where we were going to go. But it was such a neat event, and I was telling my wife at the time, like, it is one of those things where I'm glad we had that experience. And my son and I did it together, and then afterwards he was like, when can we do this again? He was all Owl City on it. It was really cool, and yeah. So Allie, any thoughts about this run versus others you've done?
This was my first springtime surprise weekend. I had been warned that it would be very hot and very humid compared to the other race weekends, and it absolutely was. Each day I felt like it got a little hotter and way more humid. I did the challenge, so I did all 3 of the races. The 5K was probably my least favorite 5K I've done there. I just felt like it was lacking some characters and course entertainment, but the 10K was great and the 10 miler was wonderful, other than being super humid and I crossed the finish line just so swampy. But like the merch was super cute, the characters were great, they had a ton of really good characters out, the course entertainment was on point as always, the cast members are always great. It was a fun weekend, so I'm doing the Disneyland races, the Halloween ones coming up in September to get my second coast to coast, so I just keep telling myself I'm not going to do all of the races, and I keep signing up for all of the races.
You're addicted. I get it. Like I said, yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah. One of the things that I thought was kind of neat is when the race was over, you run this like gauntlet of like people handing you stuff. Like I was like, you pass the finish, and I'm like, okay, and they're like, hey, here's a bottle of warm water. Hey, here's a bottle of Powerade. Hey, here's a banana. And it's like, it's almost like, thank you. This is really nice. I just did a thing. Thank you for treating me here. So I kind of see why there's as much money as there is. But there was like 13,500 people out there. Yeah. And I'm like doing the math going, man, this really works out for Disney, doesn't it? But one of the things that was handed to us was there's a new partnership with Mission where they handed me a cooling towel that was already cool and ready to go. And I was like, Thank you. I mean, it was, again, I wasn't expecting any of this. I had no idea what to expect with all of that. So that was kind of a neat thing that they've got that. But the final thing about this that I wanted to mention is that Club Run Disney is changing its membership dates for next year, as they're going to start running in a calendar year instead of however they've been running. But the thing that gets me about this is, again, the genius of Disney to go, hey, you guys do 5Ks to raise money for charity. What if you could do a 5K through one of our parks? Would you pay us for that? You would. What if we made it so hard to get in that you had to pay to join a separate club, and then you paid us for that, and then you paid us for the race? Wouldn't that be a good idea? And I'm just like, what a great scam, because it was a pain to get into this thing. I wanted the 5K. I got the 10K. It sold out instantly. But the Club Run Disney, and again, I understand the way this works. Silver membership, $279 a year. Gold membership, $613, and a platinum membership is $959. What do I get with my platinum membership, Allie?
The platinum one, that guarantees you 2 race registrations every weekend. So, like, if you want to do the challenge and the 5K, then you're able to do both. What?
I thought you were just like, it gets you 2 races. I was like, what?
Yeah. So if you're wanting to do 2 races, like if you're doing Dopey, then you only need the 1 race registration. But like if you're pretty much doing all the races. It also gets you upgraded corral placement, so you're automatically placed in that B corral. You get a little sticker on your bib, and here's the other brilliant part of Disney: you get into the merchandise area before everybody else. So you're paying money to spend more money. You can buy all that.
And it doesn't include it doesn't include the run. That's the thing, is you're paying almost $1,000 for the privilege to buy the run. 2 of them, not 3, but 2 of them, and then to be able to go early to buy stuff. It's genius.
It's wild.
It's
genius, but it's crazy.
Yeah, and yet you're doing it all the time, and now I may have a little bit of the bug. A little. The one I do want to do the Disneyland one where you run through Disneyland and DCA, because I think that would be a lot cooler. There was a lot of stuff that was neat about this run, that you got to run backstage at Epcot, but you also ran on the road, the service road. I will never see that service road the same again as like going on that. And I say ran, I meant walked fast. This is what I mean to say. But the characters were there, and I was like, who's stopping for characters? Who has time? The balloon ladies are coming. Come on, folks, we gotta go. But anyway, yeah, it was a good time. So thank you for sherping me through that. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for being with us tonight. Our apologies to Matt Damon and Allison for not being able to be here tonight. But also I want to say thank you guys for watching ParksCenter. We will be back again next Sunday night. Now, if you guys are partaking in Stage 89, you're going to have a lot of content all next weekend. So hopefully you can come and join us for ParksCenter at 9 o'clock next Sunday night. We would appreciate seeing you, hanging out with you as always. And again, Deep in the Plus, this week it's going to be Solo a Star Wars Story with me, with Desi, maybe somebody else, maybe not. Who knows? But we would love to see you come and hang out with us on that. If not, hope you guys have a great week. And if you are a WIG, by the way, our WIGs members, we love our WIGs, the WDWNT Interglobe Society. God, you can't help yourself, can you? We have a post show for you. If you want to learn more about our WDWNT Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/WDWNT. But thank you all for being WIGs. Thank you guys for spending your Sunday nights with us on ParksCenter, and we will see you guys next time. You guys didn't sing at all. How horrible. Travesty.
Sorry.